Garry's Mod. Released in 2006, this sandbox game has become a massive piece of history. Some of my favourite content to watch as a kid was Vanos and his friends screwing around with this iconic game. Unfortunately though, despite its average daily player count of around 25,000, a lot of the servers and game modes have dwindled as the players have moved on to newer games or don't play games at all anymore. In this video, I wanted to go back and take a look at some of the classic game modes that Garry's Mod still has to offer and see if any of them are active. This is how it went. Bunny hopping is an iconic feature of the Source engine. It is essentially a way to exceed the game's inbuilt speed limit through a series of perfectly timed jumps that has been turned into an entire game mode, not only in GMod but in various other games based on the Source engine. It wasn't in Source games first though. Originally discovered in Quake, players realised that strafing and jumping increased their velocity, and when chained together they could reach unreal speeds. Unfortunately, the state of the game mode is a bit sad, seeing less than 10 players online every time I went to hop on. For me though, bunny hop is iconic because it was one of the many things that kept me distracted during the COVID lockdowns, and for that I'm forever thankful. During my time playing bunny hop, I came across the owner of one of the servers. We'll call him Edgar. Me and Edgar had a conversation about why he keeps his server alive and keeps on playing in 2024, even though the game mode is so quiet. Edgar went on to explain to me that whilst playing on another server, he met someone who lived close to him and they gradually became very close, which led to them making a server together to combat against the toxicity that they found within the community. Edgar also explained to me that he converts his university textbooks into audio and listens to them as he b-hops, which helps him retain the information better, and he is doing extremely well at university because of this. I found this to be really interesting because it just goes to show that there are a lot more reasons than just nostalgia that keep a few people coming back to these modes. Overall, I had a lot of fun playing b-hop across various servers and definitely think it deserves more attention than it currently has. Also, if anybody wants to go and play on Edgar's server, go onto the bunny hop tab on GMod and look for Helios Gaming. He was really helpful, contributed his story to this video, and I really think that he runs a great server, so you guys should go and check it out. Trouble in Terrorist Town is a game mode where there are traitors within the group of players who are out to kill all of the innocents without being discovered. It is well known as a true classic, with lots of servers having their own custom weapons and loads of community made maps, but for me it really wasn't, unfortunately. I used to open the game to this. But now that I have all of the required files to play it without giving myself a brain injury, I decided to give it a try, and I have to say I was a bit disappointed. I died. A lot. I got reported. A lot. I also somehow managed to get myself banned for 24 hours, but I don't think we'll talk about that. I'm sure if you've been playing it for a while it's a lot of fun. It was obvious that other people on the server were enjoying themselves, but sometimes I felt a bit confused as it didn't really seem like anybody was trying to deceive anyone. It was more of a race to see who can kill everyone they need to kill first, rather than everybody trying to prove that they were innocent. There were definitely some fun moments though, and as I played more, I started to understand the mechanics and started to play it a bit differently, which led me to having a far more enjoyable experience and even winning a few rounds. I would definitely say that this game mode would be a lot of fun with friends, and if you're lucky enough to get into a lobby where the players have a good sense of humour and aren't taking it too seriously, there is definitely a lot of fun to be had here. I don't think it's for me, but it might be for you. Death Run is another extremely nostalgic game mode. This is what really reminds me of Vanos videos and the amount of laughs that they provided back in the day. Unfortunately, as great as they were, GMod Death Run is almost completely dead, with roughly 6 people online at any given time. Death Run is basically a deadly obstacle course. One or more players, dependent on the server, control the traps, and everyone else needs to get past them in order to kill the players controlling those traps. I found a server with only one person on it. I joined and I was immediately greeted by the Bing Chilling man.
Bing Chilling!
And when I eventually got into the server, the only other person was AFK, so I left, despite how promising that loading screen was. I did eventually find a few servers with players online later on in the day, and I have to say I had a lot of fun. The hours that I spent playing B-Hop definitely came in handy here. Although, I'm not sure if that was intended. A lot of the games ended up as a race to see who could B-Hop the fastest to get past the traps before the killer could even set them off. Thinking about it though, maybe that does make sense. There is such a wide variety of maps, and some servers have some really interesting features like being able to roll the dice for a special effect like low gravity or increased speed on your character. Playing as the killer is a lot of fun too. A lot of the people playing this seem to have a lot of experience, so you've got to time everything right and try your best not to get finessed. It is definitely a shame that this mode is as dead as it is. There are so many good memories associated with it, so maybe you should go back and give it another try, even if it's just to try and relive your childhood for a few minutes. Melon Bomber is a game mode that I never really played when I was younger, but all of my friends tell me how great it was when it was in its prime. It's essentially a multiplayer version of Bomberman where the objective is to be the last player standing. I think. I could be wrong. And unfortunately, I will probably never find out for myself, as the game mode is completely dead, with a grand total of 0 players online across 6 servers. I decided that I wouldn't let this stop me from playing the game, so I jumped in, worked out how to play, made myself completely overpowered, cleared out the entire map, and then killed myself. And that was my experience with Melon Bomber. 10 out of 10. I had a lot of fun playing GMod over the past few days, and it definitely took me back to some simpler times, where everything felt like it was taken less seriously. But unfortunately, it seems as if these game modes will soon be completely forgotten. I hope somehow the players that are still active can keep them alive for a bit longer. Thank you for watching this dive into some old school GMod. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Goodbye.